Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. Tariffs and truth. Do you know what a tariff is? Do we know what truth is? Uh, you hear a lot about tariffs today, and tariffs a little more easily explained, apparently, than truth. So I'll start with tariffs. Tariffs are a charge put on a item coming in from, let's say, China. Let's say a refrigerator, and you have a 25% tariff that is put on top of the original price that it was coming in on the boat. As soon as it hits in to the U.S., it goes up 25%. Then the importer, the person purchasing this item, not you yet, you're not the importer, you get it, and they get it, and they have to pay the 25% on top of what it used to cost with a tariff, a duty, an extra charge. And if you now, the consumer, once it gets out into the floor of Walmart or Best Buy or whatever, you now have to pay for it. The old price that it came in, originally charged price, plus what they charged for the tariff. It's that simple. Now, the how they do it and how they organize it and regulate it and all that, that isn't simple. Because as soon as it comes into money, forget the simplicity. But the understanding of it is a tax on the good coming in from another country, such as China. And it's designed initially not as a political weapon. Initially, when the United States was young and starting to grow its domestic manufacturing and economy, it would charge tariffs or add tariffs to incoming items from all over the world. And it wasn't everything. That was very selective because of lobbyists and politicians and all types of people with their own agendas. So some things got heavy tariffs, some things didn't. But the underlying idea was to protect and allow American manufacturing to grow sufficiently so it can compete in a worldwide market. That's pretty much it. But in the refrigerator example, China does not pay for anything. It's just sending the refrigerator over at a price it thinks reasonable. And we put it on. Now, because, you know, when Trump put tariffs on things, it impacted the amount of items coming into the United States. So, what did China do? China retaliated by not buying things from the United States, such as agricultural items. So, what did the Trump administration do? They took the money they got from this tax that they put on, that the importer put on it or bought the thing for, and was starting to give money back to the farming community. In other words, a welfare check to people who, in some cases, yes, could use it. In most cases, it was, these are big, big farming communities. They're not, the mom and pop people, but the mom and pop people did get some money from it. But it's a give and take thing. But it's not anything. China does not pay for it. It pays for it in productivity because it's not selling necessarily as much to the United States. But with good advertising or whatever, they can, moderate their sales and maybe increase their sales. Who knows? But that's the understanding. And it's just truth I'm looking for. Truth. The main media, the right wing media, Says everything is wonderful, good, it just helps everything. And China pays all this money and we make all. Well, it doesn't work that way. Trump lied about that as he lies about many things, most things, whatever. I don't know. You can't keep in touch with it all, but that's the way it is. So if you believe that, if that's what you believe that China is paying for all this, they're not. Are they being impacted? Yes, in many ways. Is it a complex influence string? Yes. Can a regular American person understand it all? No, I don't think so. Not unless you're trained. If you're in customs and duty and all these things that are part of it all, you have certain obligations in which you have to know these things. But the American everyday John Doe doesn't know, can't figure it out. I mean, you can't read the back of a credit card agreement and understand all the ramifications you're just signing yourself to. There's a lot. You don't understand Social Security. I've said it in many a clip. Social Security is huge. You don't understand. It's not just getting a check. It's not just this or just that or three things that you can grasp. The thing is huge, hundreds of pages thick, influencing all kinds of things that you just don't know beans about. And most of these legislators don't even know what's in the Social Security law. They're as ill informed as everybody, are just, dumb, I guess. But on the bottom line is tariffs are just that, taxes that eventually who pays? You pay. We pay if you want that good. And the result is that the U.S. manufacturing doesn't always come up with comparable items. There's a lot of things that go into this. Very difficult in a few-minute clip. But the idea is truth. Mainstream media should explain more, tell more in fairness and honesty. Explain what is going on behind it. People don't do that. They just say tariff and they say whatever Republican point is, or they let Fox News say whatever they want to say because that's a so-called free country. You could say anything and people have to believe the snake oil salesman. But it's not helping us as a country. Truth, yes. Start to demand that they give us truth. I think it's working to some degree, but we have a long way to go because truth is hard to get. It's very difficult for people to say simple truths. It's always hedged. And these media people do what? They're doing it for ratings. They're not doing it just because they want to give you everything. I mean, maybe in the old days when they started up newspapers and whatnot, there was pride, there was a value that these journalists had, but they've lost a lot of it. It's money now. Everything spins around money, and we have to try to change that, don't we? How do we do that? It's by our attitudes, by the way we approach things, by the way we learn things, by the way we educate ourselves and educate the children. And the education of children is really not so hot in my estimation today. But critical thinking is critical. Going to the good. You have to go to the good. Use critical thinking to get there and keep hope alive. Anyway, I just wanted to speak for a few minutes about tariffs because it's just overworked, overused, and lied about by Trump all the time. He says it, and nobody pushes back on it. And Vance says it, pushes back on it. They don't do it. They'll say a few things and let it ride, and then you're going to have to choose whether the guy's telling the truth or not. And frankly, the odds of getting the truth from those type of press interviews is not so great. Well, if you like what you hear, please subscribe and send it on to someone if you think this kind of clip has some value for people. Thanks everybody for viewing and the increase in viewership. I certainly appreciate that. Subscribers and comments. the good, the bad, and the ugly. Take care. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.